Now we start tomorrow, and there's a very good chance that I will go to prison. I don't care about that, as I've always said. It's neither here nor there. We need to clean up this country. It's not going to clean up this country if they drop the charges. It's not going to clean up this country if I go to jail, but it will draw attention to the problem. Thank you. You know, we're in a good position now. We have very good lawyers, some of the best. I've had a very, very good time with my family leading up to the trial. We'll give it a really good shot. If I go to prison, I will go with my head held up high. So I'm always want to thank the fans. Keep talking about it. Stay interested. Don't buy into necessarily the mainstream media, the narrative that they portray it. Look at this channel. Look at Geordie's. Look at the independent media to find out what's actually going on in the trial. The government's likely to paint me as a security threat. That's bullshit, and look into it. But I am trying to expose. I'm in law enforcement. I'm trying to enforce the Australian laws, and they are trying to put up a smokescreen to say, oh, nothing to see here. He can't enforce Australian laws. He's damaging national security, and we're going to go in, have a death match, and only one of us is going to come out. Well, I feel pretty good. I'm well prepared. I'm tired today because I've been doing a lot of public appearances, a lot of interviews. It's a deliberate strategy. If I do go to jail, one of the reasons that things will help me, help my case, help everybody and everything I stand for is if I don't fall out of the media. So I'm doing 2 documentaries, long form documentaries, one with the ABC and one with an independent. I'm going to keep recording with you guys. I'm going to see the fans. We had a meeting in Glebe Park today. All of that is very tiring, but it's worth it. You have to do all of that to make sure, as an insurance policy, that if I go inside, the message still stays out there, and more people in this country begin to say, hang on, this guy seems to be not such a bad guy. We're putting him in prison when we have so many other people with question marks above their head walking around, driving their fast cars and full of pockets full of gold. And this guy, who was a patriot, who stood up for what he believed in, he's the one in jail. And I think that's going to be embarrassing for the government. It's going to be a slow start, going to be a legal argument. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a fair game. It's a bit like the referee being on the government side, trying to fight a boxing match with one hand tied behind your back. And the government is saying, oh, this is too secret, the judge can't see that. A lot of the documents are blacked out. Why would they do that unless they're incriminating? And they will sort of standing up and saying national security. We've still got that third person in the trial, the Attorney General's office. Attorney General's office is not Mark Dreyfus. It's probably the spooks who will be saying, oh, we're here to protect the information. And that means that they will stop any information coming out which helps me, and they will but put out information which they think damages me. So that means it's going to be one-sided. The first thing that's going to happen is a legal argument, because we say, it was my duty, and luckily enough, in the charges, it actually says I didn't do my duty, basically. It's different wording, but it's all about whether I did or didn't do my duty, and we're saying I did, and let's define duty. So we're asking for duty to be defined on day 1. Now that may never be resolved this week. The judge may have to. We've put in detailed submissions. The prosecutors have put in detailed submissions. The judge may have to spend a little bit of time trying to decide. We may not impanel a jury. On the other hand, he may just say, let's get on with it. And on Wednesday, we might have a jury. We might be heading towards the culmination. I'd love people just to turn up, chant, blow whistles. We had a whistle-blowing rehearsal today, which was very good. We all blew our whistles. We all want to chant. We all want to chant things like, what about BRS? What about David Hurley? What about robo-debt? You know, what about these scandals? What about PwC, robo-debt, BRS? And to say, why is McBride going to jail when we have all these festering cans of worm with our government and they're picking on me? I think it's indicative of something very wrong in this country, but just turn up, have a party. It won't be the biggest crowd in the world, but anyone that turns up tomorrow is family as far as I'm concerned.